Hi guys, it's me. I'm using my brand new camcorder for the first time. I've never used it before, so it's taken a little bit of getting used to, so please bear with me if I do anything funny. Let's see. I guess I'll start off with the diet update. I lost 2 pounds for the week, so I guess I didn't do any harm by cheating when I had tamales last Saturday? Yeah, I think it was Saturday. I don't remember. So I was happy about that. But I did throughout the week, I did beef up my vegetables, and I'm going to continue to do that because that's just more healthy anyway. And along the lines of the diet and the healthy eating and everything, I wanted to share, I think I've told you before that Mission makes a low-carb tortilla, but they look like this, and they're called Carb Balance. They make a flour version that's a little higher carb. I like the wheat version, and it only has 3 net carbs per tortilla. And sometimes I'll just eat these just plain, you know, like you would a piece of bread. And sometimes I put, I don't remember what brand it is, but they make like roast beef and turkey and that kind of thing. But there are no preservatives, no nitrates, no anything. They're just, but they're like thin meat, and so I'll put that on the tortilla, and it's really good. Or sometimes I'll put cheese and some pepperoni and make like a little pizza. But I love these things. I mean, anytime I ever feel like I miss bread, this is perfect. They're really soft and they're really good, so I like those a lot. Also, I've told you before that I eat the Atkins meals here and there, the breakfasts and the different things, and a lot of them now are starting to put coupons. Sometimes the coupons are for the dinners, and sometimes the coupons are like this one is for $1 off of when you buy the little snacks, the breakfast bars, that kind of stuff. And so I've got a bunch of these now. Let's see. Oh, I think I've told you before about Russell Stover's and how they make sugar-free candy, and they're really good and really low net carbs, so if you're having a craving for candy. So I've got these that are the sugar-free toffee squares. I haven't tried those yet, but if they're anything like the rest of the candy, I know I'm going to like them. These ones are open, so you can see I have tried them. These are amazing. They're dark chocolate pecan delights, and they're so good. And normally what I do is I'll just have 1 piece. I mean, the serving size is usually 2 or 3 pieces, but I like to make them just be a treat at lunch, because later in the evening is when I'll make either a tea or a coffee, and then I'll have one of those indulge snack bars or the little chocolate coated candies or whatever. So at lunch I just give myself a little treat. And then the last ones, and these are $1.50 at Walmart. These ones are mint patties. They're kind of like a York peppermint patty. They're not quite as soft. They're a little harder, but I like that. And like on these, the serving size is 3 pieces, 180 calories, and it would be 1 net carb, because it's 26 carbs but 2 fibers, so you subtract that, and 23 sugar alcohol, so you subtract 25 off of the 26, which is how it's 1 net carb. But I like these a lot. The last thing having to do with like a diet update and everything is there's a lady that I can't think. Her name's Kathy Napoleon, and it's spelled like Napoleon with an E at the end, and she has a vlog, and she is really knowledgeable about low carb and everything, and she had just very recently started putting recipes on her blog, and she had been talking about George Stella, and she had talked about his cookbook. So I bought his cookbook from, I'm trying to find this, how you can see it. I found his cookbook on Amazon, and I think it was like $11 on Amazon, which if you go to the bookstore it's $18. So and there's a lot of really good sounding recipes and everything. Why is this going dark? Okay, something's happening with the light. Did you see this just go dark, or is it just my viewfinder? Maybe it's just my viewfinder. I hope it's just my viewfinder. Maybe if I tap it. I don't know. I'm just learning this camera. But anyway, you know what I'm going to do? It's like going darker and darker and darker. And I'm new, so I'm just going to see if it'll let me pause it and start it again. Okay, it went bright again. Now if it didn't, I guess when I view this video after, I'll see if it went dark at all, or if just like after 5 minutes it it just goes dark on its own to save battery power. I don't know. So I lost 2 pounds for the week. I'm just looking at my list of what I wanted to talk about. Okay. The next thing I thought I'd show you is my latest things I got from Blue Rose Beatery. And that's that Etsy shop that I told you that I really like. And I really like the lady that makes the jewelry. She's just really nice and awesome service. But I ordered this necklace. Yeah, you can see my fingernail is like peeling. Remember I showed you these nail wraps that I used. They're supposed to last 10 days. And yesterday was a week, and this one just started chipping really bad. But for the most part, they've held up really well. And this one, I think, was my fault anyway, because I smashed my finger, and I think that probably bent the fingernail and made the stuff. But anyway, this was a set. It came with that necklace, and then these earrings. And they're green and like a turquoisey blue, and I had bought a summer dress those colors, and so I think this will look really pretty. Plus I just really love turquoise. It's one of my favorite colors. So, but that's all I've ordered from her lately. I do have to budget, and there's only so much jewelry you can own. But it's Blue Rose Beatery on Etsy. She has really good prices, and she has a lot of different things to pick from. And if you have like a certain thing you like owls or skulls or something like that, and you just send her a message and ask her if she has anything like that, she can make you anything. So yeah, I really like her shop a lot. Loom projects, I haven't done anything on my looms this week. So in regards to loom projects, I don't have anything to show that I've been working on loom wise. But I think I've told you guys before, there's that Loomaholics, which is a Google Plus community that I'm a member of, where loomers get together and talk and share their projects and everything. Well, there's another part to that club that's called a Rake Club, Random Acts of Kindness, and you can choose to be a member of that part of it. And what you do is you mail each other little surprise packages back and forth. Which is really fun. Some people are doing them really frequently. I'm only doing it once a month because that fits into my budget. And really you just have to do it at least once every 3 months to stay a member of that part, which is, if you want to be a member of the Rake Club, I think that once every 3 months is totally reasonable. But I got a rake, and so I wanted to show you what I got. And this was from Lisa M, and she sent me 2 skeins of Knit Picks yarn, and this is in the color Sky. And this yarn is really beautiful, and it's like a bulky yarn. And what I'm going to do with it, I got a loom from Cindy Wood Looms. This is a wooden adult slipper loom. And so what I'm going to do is make a pair of slippers. She also sent me these really pretty emery boards, which I will definitely use because I like to do my nails, and this lip crayon that is a perfect color. I love pinks and all that, and I'm trying to see, I know it said the color. Fuchsia. It's really, really pretty. But I thought that was really nice and really thoughtful, and I was very happy about it. It's always really nice to get something in the mail like that. And it's worked out kind of neat because I've sent out 3 rakes and now I've gotten 3. And you don't send them back to the same person that sent you one. I try to look at the list and see who has gotten one and who hasn't. So, and try to send it to somebody that hasn't gotten one before. So that was my rake. Okay. Then I wanted to show, I have a couple of rants too, by the way. Then I wanted to show you what I made on my Addy. I told you I got the Addy king size and the thing just went dim again, and so I'm hoping that it's just a power saver, so I'm not gonna mess with it this time. Or maybe I will, because if the lighting really isn't working, you can't see my hats. Hold on, I'm gonna do that again. Pause it. Okay, I'm gonna feel like an idiot when I go look at this and it's not getting dark. But we'll see. My first time using this damn camera. Okay, Addy. I got the Addy king size, which is the bigger knitting machine, and I got it because just in my spare time I want to start making hats and putting them like in a tote or something and holding them for when they do the drives, the cold weather drives for the homeless and the needy and everything. So my first hat, well actually this was my 4th hat, but I made this hat here. It's a reversible hat, so you can reverse it to where it's green, and then this would be the cuff. And the colors are, this is a variegated red heart in Day Glow. It's called Day Glow. It's kind of like the black light, only the fluorescent version. And then this is called Glowworm. Isn't that the cutest name, Glowworm? And on the Addy, for red heart yarn, you do 65 rows of one color, then 65 rows of another color, and you make a tube, and then you just, stuff one end into the other, and that's what makes the hat with the brim, and it's reversible. So I've got this one. Then I made, this is actually the first one I did, was this one here. I'm trying to figure out the viewfinder here. And again, it's another reversible one, and they all are, so whatever you see for the brim, you can flip it around and have this be the brim and this be the hat. But this was, and when you know my colors, I don't have them in the order that I have the hats. Smart. These are Vanna's Choice by Lion Brand. All 3 of these hats I'm going to show you. This one is in the colors Brick is the top color, and then this down here is called Autumn Print. Then this was the second hat I made, just like the others were. It's reversible and you can reverse it out. And these are in the colors Purple Print, how original, and Charcoal Gray. And then the last one I made, I'm trying to find the colors, was this one. And these last 3 all were Vanna's Choice yarn in the colors Taupe and Taupe Mist. So it's kind of, a taupey brown color. So that's what I got so far, was 4, and they take about 40 minutes a piece to make, which is a lot quicker than a loom. It also makes the weave a little tighter, which is nice, but with the Addy I don't think I could do without taking just as much time as a loom, in my opinion, like the striping and some of the other stuff that I like to do when I make them by hand. So that's the Addy. And then for those of you that don't know what an Addy is, I will try to remember to post a couple of pictures at the end of the video to show you what an Addy is and what it looks like. Let's see. Okay, a couple of rants. And just little rants. Well, one of them is a bigger rant. But I've told you guys before how it bothers me when I go to a store and people don't put their carts up. And I went to Walmart yesterday and it was just really kind of funny because a person left a cart, literally, if they would have turned around the other direction, there's the cart return. It was like 10 feet, like 10 feet away. They couldn't walk 10 feet to put a cart up. I put it up. I just, ugh. See, there was just a mini rant. Just an example of how I see that crap. And it was windy yesterday, so that cart could have very easily ended up on the side of somebody's car. Okay, my next rant. Maybe you can offer some advice. I don't know. We have these neighbors who, several years ago, they had a cat. This little black kitten that they had. She worked like Lowe's or Home Depot or somewhere like that, and a mother cat had had kittens in like a PVC pipe, like a big PVC pipe, and so she brought the kittens home. She found homes for all of them, but this one little black cat named Pumpkin, kind of like, he was black everywhere except just a little triangle like on his little neck. And she had him as an indoor cat, and then she ended up making him kind of an indoor-outdoor cat, which I don't know why. And let's just say, in the city I live in, there are leash laws even for cats. And cats in the city limits are not allowed to be outside. They have to be inside. They're inside cats. Which, and also in my opinion, taking a cat that was an inside cat and then putting it out is kind of cruel. Because what she ended up doing was just pretending like she never had him, pretending like he wasn't her cat. And so, I mean, we even saw one time him on the porch, you know, crying to come in the house, and her kicking him off the porch, you know. And he was a sweet cat. He used to come over to our house, and, you know, our kids would hold him and love on him and everything. And, you know, there were several years he ended up being outside, and she just ignored him. And throughout this period of time, the neighborhood kind of adopted him. You know, nobody could really take him in because they either already had cats, or like in my instance, I love cats. And I had cats when my husband and I first met, and when we got married we had a cat, but he just has really bad allergies, and it just gets kind of hard, you know, to live with a cat. So we couldn't take him in, but we would feed him and always had water out for him. And in the wintertime, we would put like a cat carrier out there, and I had covered it in a trash bag and then taped it down really good so all of the holes would be covered. And then inside we had like a covered, like those cat teepees, like little cat beds. So he would be covered in there within that thing, in the foyer, which is blocked from the wind. And this went on for several years. And then he came to the house, you know, because he would come visit, and sometimes you wouldn't see him for a couple of weeks, and we'd think, oh, what happened to Pumpkin? But he came to the house, and we have our screen door is all glass, and he sometimes would come up to the door and stretch on the door when he wanted you to come out and pet him, and so we'd go out and pet him, and we noticed his belly was like split open, and there was stuff hanging out of his belly. And so we called animal control, and they came out and looked at him and said that he probably had been attacked by a raccoon or a possum. And so, you know, they took him, and they said that their vets would see if they could patch him up and then take him to the no-kill shelter, and which is probably what we should have done at the very beginning when she kicked him out. We should have took him there. And so I totally regret that we didn't do that at the beginning. But, you know, we're not the ones who had this cat, and we're not the ones who cast him out. But anyway, this damn woman, now she has 2 more cats. Same thing. She hasn't cast them out yet. They live in the house, but they're all the time getting loose. And, you know, she says, oh, the kids let them out, or when the windows are open, we try to lock the cats in the bathroom, and just all this stuff. But she doesn't. They get out, and, you know, I'm not going to get attached to somebody else's cat again. I'm just not going to do it, because that was heartbreaking with Pumpkin, you know. And these cats are irritating. You know, they get on our roof. They antagonize our dog. We have trees in the front where we've got bird feeders and bird houses and suet and stuff hanging, and a little thing for the squirrels. They try to attack the birds. There's been times when we're sitting there watching the birds out the window, and there's a cat slams into our screen door because it's trying to get a bird. And so we've called animal control before, you know, so that maybe they would do something about it, you know, go talk to her, which they have done, and she always has some kind of excuse. And, you know, I don't want these cats to be hurt. It's not the cat's fault that their owner is an idiot. You know, it's not their fault. They're just doing what comes naturally to them. But they're crapping in my flower beds, you know, the flower bed over on the side of the house that she lives, we don't even plant anything in anymore because there's so much stuff buried. I found dead animals over there. We have found like half of a bunny carcass. You know, it's just frustrating. It's frustrating to have these animals in our trees, on our roof. You know, one time one of them it was like teasing the dog. We have a wooden fence, and she was like up on the fence just staring at him. He's down there barking at her. She's just staring at him like, ha ha, you can't get me. So I thought, well, I'll get you. And you know, I'm not going to do anything to hurt these animals. But if you have cats, you know how much they hate water, right? So I filled up a glass of water and snuck around the side of the shed while this cat was teasing the dog, and I poured water on her. Doesn't hurt her, but they sure hate to be wet. You know, she probably took an hour to clean all that water off herself. You know, and then she didn't get up on the fence again. You know, she wasn't teasing the dog again. But I just don't know what it's going to take to get this, because animal control just listens to her sob stories, and and just very recently my husband had called again because he found, I don't even know what dead animal he found in our front yard. And, you know, just cat crap. And so he called animal control again, and they said that they would offer to set a trap, but first they'd go talk to her. And so what they did was they went and talked to her and told her that they were going to set traps, and if they caught the cats, for her to get them back, she'd have to pay all this money to get them back, and blah, blah, blah. And this was a week ago, and we haven't seen them. So she's keeping them in. I don't know how long it's going to last. And it's like, it's like, is she going to do the same thing with these cats that she did with Pumpkin? I don't even know these ones' names. I don't want to know their names. I don't want to get attached to them. I don't want to pet them. I don't want them to feel welcome over here the way that Pumpkin did. I just don't want to go through that again. I'm still really angry at her for the way that she treated him and how all that turned out. And I'm angry at myself for not taking him to the animal shelter at the beginning, you know, when she first did that, because then maybe he could have had a chance at a home and not had to be an outside cat. And, you know, sometimes he would come over and his ears would be, you know, little pieces out of him because, you know, he'd been in cat fights and stuff. And I just feel really guilty about that still to this day. But I just don't get people that are irresponsible with their pets. You know, how hard is it? If you don't want to be a responsible pet owner, don't have a pet, period. You know, it'd be one thing if they lived on a farm somewhere where there's not places where the animals can get run over by cars, or where they're bothering the neighbors, you know, tearing up neighbors' flower beds and all that. But it's really annoying. I'm really sick of it. So hopefully she listened to animal control this time, and if she didn't, then I guess we'll tell animal control to set traps and they can haul the cats off, and she'll have to pay to get them back, or they'll be adopted by hopefully a family that'll take care of them. So anyway, so that's it for rants. And then the weather's starting to get a little bit nicer. Today the high is like 60 something, so it's not, you know, like super warm, and it's kind of cloudy all day, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Spring is coming. I always start to get really excited about vacation. We go for 7 days to the Lake of the Ozarks in July, and so I'm really excited about that. I love it there. It's so peaceful. And back behind our house, there's like a retirement community, and they have a big pond back there. And the frogs, it must be like time for the frogs to find their mates and everything. And so in the evenings we hear all these frogs, and just the sounds of the frogs and the nature sounds, it all makes me think of vacation. And because we live like right off of a highway, kind of. It's not like a highway. What is it? It's just, or maybe it is a highway but not an interstate. It's kind of hard to explain. But anyway, I hear cars all the time, so Like if I'm trying to sit in my backyard and read or whatever, eventually you just get so used to it. But I hear a bunch of cars. Well, out there you just hear the nature and the birds and the animals, and and it's so peaceful. I just love it. I can't wait. So I think I've talked for long enough, and this thing has gone dim again, so I don't know if it's doing some kind of power saver thing or if I'm gonna be dark too. I don't know. We'll see. I've probably paused this thing twice for no reason, but we'll see. And so if any of you have any advice or any low carb tips or ways to deal with the neighbors' cats that don't hurt them, not that any of you would suggest hurting them, I know you wouldn't. I think that's it, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.